Testing, testing. Oh man. Oh, so this whole time I've been going 15 minutes strong. 15 minutes strong, and my mic hasn't. That's the thing with Streamlabs. It works, but then sometimes it goes back to default settings. But anyway, like I was saying, and then I gotta pretty much repeat everything I was saying. My mic hasn't. Hold on, let me see. Maybe my stream caught it. Oh, see, I've been going. I got one. I got a viewer, and the viewer, y'all gotta let me know when my mic's not working, people. Y'all gotta let me know. Anyway, as I was saying, getting back to what I was saying, I decided to get some wall art, right, and I'm gonna put it somewhere on my wall. But I have two of these straw hat flags, two of these, and I will be giving them both away. I will be giving them both away. Let me make sure. This is gonna be the 15-minute mark because I'm gonna put it in the details because now I gotta I'm gonna have to edit the details to let people know to go 15 minutes in. So hmm, I'll be doing the giveaway for both of those straw hat flags. Okay, I'll be giving away two straw hat flags just like this one. I'm gonna put on my wall for my wall art. And before I do the giveaways for those flags, I will man, I gotta repeat all this. Before I do the giveaway for those two flags, I'm trying to reach milestones here, people. I'm trying to reach some milestones, and my first milestone is 50 subscriber. Help me get If you guys help me get to that 50 subscriber benchmark, that 50 subscriber benchmark, it, it's it's very possible I will be giving away. I'll be giving away two straw hat Jolly Roger flags to two winners. Now, how I'll give away that'll be later after we reach that 50 subscriber milestone. But after we reach that, like after reaching that 50 subscriber milestone, I'll be having a giveaway for both those two extra flags that I have. And my goal is to start doing more giveaways for each milestone we hit. For now, for here on, every time we meet another milestone, I want to do I want to do a giveaway and bigger than the last. I'm trying to do it bigger and bigger. I want to give better giveaways to my subscribers to show you guys that I appreciate you, and you know. So, but before I get to that, guys, let me edit my let me do a quick edit for this stream because my mic was off for the first 15 minutes of this dang stream. Ain't that something, guys? Ain't that something? All right, is it 15? Sorry, y'all. Just gotta do that just so people. Bam. All right. So yeah, again, I'm gonna be having a contest, or I will be having a contest for these two Straw Hat Jolly Rogers. Once we hit the 50 subscriber mark, I will be throwing a contest, but we gotta reach that 50 subscriber mark first. All right, all right. So anyway, we wasted a lot of time going in on that, but let's get to the meat and potatoes of the stream. All right. So, One Piece chapter 1024, So and So. All right, so we start off in the on the second floor, right? You see kind of a silhouette. You could tell it's Usopp from his what's the name of his slingshot? It's like I can't remember what he called it, but is his slingshot. You could tell it's his slingshot, so you could tell it's him. And so everybody, people are passing out, and Usopp is taking credit for this, like in the way that Usopp would, of course. And let me make sure my audio is still working. All right, cool. I don't know why my mic wasn't connected, man. Oh, and I also want to say another thing I said in the beginning of the stream. My bad for, quick segue. The music you heard in the beginning. Go check out the last stream I did on Friday, if you want to see how I did that beat. If you're curious on how I do my music, go watch my vlog. I think it's like episode 14 or something. But okay, so people passing out, and everybody thinking like, oh, like people asking like, why y'all passing out? And they see like Usopp basically walking down, like you just see a silhouette like he's some creepy dude, and just kind of got people creeped out. And he basically brags like, oh, they're passing out from my presence, my overwhelming presence. And he said he took credit for defeating two Tobiropo. two Tobiropo. And he told him to call him Usohachi, the sibling hunter. The sibling hunter. And everybody like, what? You defeated two of them? You defeated two Tobiropo? And then we cut to where Nami, Speed, and Otamar, and Speed pretty much confirms like, oh, they're passing out from the let me move to the side a little bit. They're passing out from Big Mom's hockey that's rippling wherever, because she's on that floor. So the hockey ripple, Conqueror's hockey ripple, is what basically, while they're passing out, right? And Nami's basically on the phone with Frankie, and I also think they're talking to she's talking to Frankie at the moment, right? And she asks Frankie, said, hey, like what's going on with Luffy and Momonosuke, And Frankie basically, I don't know, I have no idea, but I have just listen to whatever Momonosuke said earlier, like that's all he knows, and Frankie basically tells Nami like, look, they're fine, no news is good news, right? And Nami over the phone like, look, that makes no sense. Yeah, it really doesn't. Like, he could be dead. That could be why. Like, if you don't hear from somebody, they could be dead. Just saying. You might, you probably actually, it's probably better to know if something bad happened to him than to not know if something bad happened to him. But yeah, so, she said if you're Frankie basically, hey, come down for whatever seems, all the enemies are coming to the performance floor, and that's where Zoro and Sanji are fighting the commanders. And So so like then we kind of cut the like the we see the flames are going up, right? And then we cut the Brook running with Robin in his hand and through these flames. I want to say these are the flames that these are the flames that Odin started earlier. Either that or in the next page we see one of Kid's men. It looked like one of Kid's soldiers, and it looked like he's like breathing out fire. So I don't know. I don't know if that fire is from him or if that fire is the fire that Orochi started earlier. So so yeah, Brook is basically carrying Robin, and and um and Brooke said one thing that caught me when Brooke said Robin was going to burn up. How is the battle going? I at first, I mean, I don't know if he's saying like she was going to burn up or no. You know where I think that fire could have started with Black Maria when she was spreading all those the fire around with her wheel weapon that she had, right? So that might be the fire. That might because that's where Brooke and Robin was. They was just fighting Black Maria, and she was the one spreading that fire. So I guess that's where the fire is coming from. For some reason, I was thinking either Odin or the dude in the next picture, but I think it's the fire that Black Maria started. And Brooke said Robin was going to burn up. At first, you know, like I didn't know if I don't didn't know if that was from the fire or if that was from like I guess the drawbacks of her devil fruit. So, but I think it's from the fire, of course. I think it's obviously from the fire. And so Brooke is basically called reaching out to Jinbei, and he basically tells him like the third floor is a sea of fire right now, and then Jinbei basically like, fire, that's a bad news. But then who is holding Kaido back further up? So I guess Jinbei is pretty much unaware that Yamato is up there. You know, he might be. I'm pretty sure he's unaware of Yamato. Period. You know, I don't think nobody told Jinbei about Yamato. And if you think about it, you know, Yamato just kind of was like thrown into the story. So I don't think any of the pirate Straw Hat Alliance is really aware of Yamato, like her existence and her involvement in this whole thing. You know, like I think the only people that's aware is like Luffy, uh, Momonosuke, maybe Frankie, because I think she ran into Frankie when Frankie was fighting Sasaki, because Shinobu and Momonosuke was right there. So I think those are the only person that are like. It's very few people aware of Yamato at this point. I think. So we cut to the top of the skull. You know where Yamato and Kaido are. Well, I mean a little further down. You know I kind of skipped the panel. We get we see Kawamatsu basically in the samurai fighting some of the beast pirates. You know, man, it's the middle of a war. People fighting, of course. You know, nothing major. Bunch of fodder getting beat by Kawamatsu. So we cut to the top of the skull, and that's where Kaido and Yamato are fighting. And Yamato pretty much basically attacks Kaido with a Nari Kabura. I think that's how you pronounce it, a Nari Kabura arrow. And Kaido pretty much deflects it. One hand deflects it with his club, sends it a different way. And Kaido basically it's almost in return of her attack shoots a Vajra arrow. Now she's having a little harder time deflecting this than Kaido did her shot, but she ultimately does deflect it upward. And then Kaido pretty much looked like he just, like, after she deflects it, pretty much just, uh, I want to say he hits her after. That's what it kind of looked like. Kind of like she deflects it. She either deflects it and gets sent into like a mountain of rocks or skull or whatever, or Kaido, like, after she deflects it, which kind of looked like what she did, Kaido sends her into the mountain, like basically hits her into the pile of rocks or skull or whatever. I don't know if there's rocks on the top of the skull, but it's what it kind of looks like. But so she pretty much is getting up and she asks Kaido, like, you've always intended to kill me. And Kaido basically he doesn't deny it. He says, yeah, that's right. It's not a family squabble. He says, if you want to wear the name Oden, you must be ready for war. This isn't a game. Which, I mean, I get it. Even though some people are gonna be like, that's still your child, Kaido. And in a way, he shouldn't be willing to kill her just because she wants to be Oden. But Kaido's kind of, he's more barbaric, and he's a little more barbaric in his way of thinking. He's somebody who believes the strong survives. So, he's kind of, it's tough love, but at the same time, it's like, look, if you're going to go against me, then I'm gonna treat you like an enemy. It's kind of messed up, but Kaido really don't like putting up with stuff based off his attitude. You can't idolize one of his biggest rivals in life. You can't idolize that guy and at the same time be his child. He's gonna be mad about that. But yeah. So we get a flashback, and pretty much Yamato is pretty much like chained up in this like sick. I want to say it's like a sacred vault or whatever, that a sacred jail, and so we just hear Yamato basically saying, like, I am Odin, and then she screams out to Kaido, like, undo my chains, father. I am Odin Kazuki. I am Odin. Or Kosuke Odin, basically. And we see, like, all Kaido's men basically passed out. And this this is something that I don't think gets talked enough about, but biker gang looking Kaido. I like the biker gang looking Kaido, where he got them skinny legs. He just looked like he looked like a biker, right? y'all let me know what y'all think of biker gang Kaido. But so anyway, Kaido basically asks, like, Yamato, like, hey, did you do this? And she says, like, nah, I didn't. They just fell over. But, it's pretty much confirmed that Yamato has King Haki. And she had it at a very young age, which is very, which is impressive, which is impressive. So, but he said, he acknowledges that she has King's Haki. She's like, oh, King's Haki, hey, that's a good sign. But she said, if you want to call yourself Odin, then die. If you're gonna call yourself Odin, I don't care if you got King's Haki. I'm not impressed by you just because you got King's Haki. I mean, it's impressive, but if you want to be my enemy, you could die like my enemy. King's Haki means nothing to me. So so anyway, so like he basically said, you know, hey, I'll give you a month until you come to your senses, and come to find out we got other samurai in there. You know, one of his guys said, "You gonna leave her in there with those vicious samurai?" And and you know, Yamato's pretty much crying like, "Hey, don't leave me here in the dark to die." You know, blah blah blah. And and then I guess I don't know if this is like a little later or if this is like he goes back in there because like the last panel looked like he left the tomb, but yeah, or are they even in the tomb? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Oh, I think it's a jail and there's a big rock. Okay, yeah, there's a big rock, and I think that's where she's kind of on a post in like the middle of that rock or whatever. And Kaido basically tells the other two, there's other samurai in it, right? I'm just kind of I'm trying to tell like where they are at within the like within the stone. So okay. So I think so yeah. There is a big tomb that he can't that you know they're in the tomb. They're in the bigger tomb, right? The bigger or there's a rock, right? And that's where Yamato is. She's within the rock, inside of that rock, because you could kind of see like a boulder where you could close it. But anyway, so I guess Kaido goes back into the rock and talks to the other samurai and say, you know, hey, if you agree to join my army, I'll let you go. You can shout through the vent in the ceiling if you change your mind. You know, he basically Kaido likes breaking people into uh, turning them into his men. Like he likes breaking strong guys into serving him. And he asked him like, "Oh, y'all haven't eaten in a few days?" And he said, "Okay, bring them some food, but only enough for one of them. Only enough for one guy, and bring them some weapons too, right? Bring them some weapons." And so you know, Yamato is worried because she's looking at it like, "Yo, you gonna leave me in this prison with these samurai who like they know I'm your child. They probably want to kill me because I'm your child. But you're gonna leave me with these guys? It's messed up, pops. Like that's pretty much how she is. And then he basically said like, hey, you Odin though, so you good? You Odin, right? So we see, you know, she's basically worried. She's worried that these samurai want to kill her and that they are going to kill her. You know, because she's stuck with them now. She's stuck with them. They have weapons. It's only one. It's only like enough food for one person, and so you know they basically get up, grab the swords, and you know they scoot the scoot the food to her and say, hey, you know we're samurai. We don't get hungry. We'll be all right. And she's shocked. She's like, huh? Really? She started eating and she's like, I'm hungry. She said, a samurai does not feel hungry. Huh, really? But I'd be hungry. And then she said, you know, they tell her like, eat up. You pick the hell of a family to be born into. So, you know, we see that these samurai have no ill will towards her. They notice that look, just cause she's Kaido's child, that doesn't mean the father the sins of the father do not go to are not passed on to the sins of the child, especially to like an honorable warrior such as a samurai. You know, they're not going to kill a child because her parents a piece, you know, a bad person or a real evil. So yeah, so you know, she eats and is thanking him, you know, and she asked him like, hey, this part kind of made me laugh. She's like, hey, you know, do you think I could be a samurai too, even though I get hungry? Even though I get hungry, and uh, one samurai who I kind of want to talk to about a little bit later, you know, he said, "Hey, you are Kazuki Odin, are you not?" So he's basically acknowledging and saying, "Hey, you Odin, so you good? You know, you already a samurai." You know, he's been real nice to her. You know, he does realize that she's still a kid and she's gonna want to eat, but he's still saying, "Hey, you're already a samurai, so whatever." You know, and he basically said like, you know, I heard you say it. I heard you call yourself Odin. You know, and we loved Odin. You know, so it's kind of like he just kind of enamored with with this little girl who's the son of his enemy, or the, you know, daughter of his enemy, whichever one you want to consider. You know, I'm not going to tell everybody what to consider her, but I know that's kind of a big thing. But I'm going off I go with what's official. You know, so so and then, you know, she said like, she asked him like, what's his name, you know, and then he basically responds like, hey, you know, you can call me so and so, you know, and she pulls out Odin's journal, like Odin's journal, and and tells him like, hey, I want to read this journal, but the words are too hard for me, you know, like I'm not good at reading, and so I don't know, maybe they read the journal with her, like read the journal to her, so maybe that's how, you know, maybe they taught her how to read, or I don't know if Yamato already had a baseline of like reading level, and maybe they just helped her read that specific journal. I don't know, but you know, they're like just kind of like amazed that she has Odin's journal. So now they know how she knows about Odin, right? Through his journal, and I'm guessing because it's been 10 days, because it says it's been 10 days now. I'm guessing they read this journal with her through this 10 days, and and you know, so we go back into the little prison and say, hey, you know, one of the samurai said, hey, it seems like your dad really is trying to kill you, and you know, they said at this rate we probably gonna die before this whole war that Odin speaks of in this journal comes along. So so they pretty much decide they decide that they're just gonna go confront Kaido. They're just going, if they're gonna die, they rather die fighting Kaido than than dying in the prison. And so they take the swords and they basically break through the rock of this prison that they're in, and you know, they go off to supposedly die. You know, and before they go off to die, we see the main samurai, that, you know, the one who said just call me so and so. We see him with his shirt off, and he has a tattoo of the Shimotsuki clan symbol. So, you know, I think it pretty much confirmed that that's Yushimaru, or Shimotsuki Yushimaru, who we talked about in the last chapter. But you know, that the one who they say Zoro kind of reminds them of. And he kind of, if you look at the panel, he definitely does look like, he looks kind of like an older version of Zoro, maybe a little bigger too. But, you know, then we cut back to the fight, and we see we cut back to the fight, and Yamato's pretty much saying she's not alone. Now she's with a bunch of people that believe in her, and we get a little kind of a speech from her, and it says, "Why do you steal my freedom? Why do you steal Wino's freedom?" And then Kaido says, "Because life isn't a series of simple questions with simple answers, you naive child." And they kind of concluded with a Thunder Bagua. You know, they kind of concluded with a clash of a Thunder Bagua. And it seems that Yamato is actually kind of holding her ground within this clash. Man, that little speech though she did before they clashed, that gives me major Straw Hat member joining Straw Hats or new member of the Straw Hat vibes. For some reason, it just does. You know, she's talking about she got people who believe in her. You know, that kind of sound like Robin. You know, when Robin was in this lobby. You know, like she got people who believe in her and who care about her and stuff. She has friends now. You know what I'm saying? And it's just giving me that vibe that they're really priming her up to be a future Straw Hat. But yeah, but so that was a chapter, and we seen like according to Shonen Jump, next chapter come out a week from now, and it doesn't say we have a break. So now, kind of breaking down this chapter of some of the things that stuck out to me, right? Some of the things that stuck out to me, and okay, so get into it. So the first thing I wanted to say, the first thing I noticed is, sorry, I seem a little off today, man. I had like a little virus last night, a little food virus. So today I'm kind of feeling a little laggy from it. I'm feeling a little off today. But anyway, one thing I noticed was we seen all the Straw Hat members who was fighting Toby Roppo. Basically, I guess trying to find their place back in the battle. So that kind of lead me to believe that the Toby Roppo they might really be down for the count. They might be really defeated for good. One thing I said was like, I hope that the fights aren't completely over. I hope they're like walking away and then Toby Roppo get back up and say, "Oh, you thought you defeated me," but because I just wanted to see more of the Toby Roppo. I felt as though those fights were real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like we was getting 2 fights per chapter, and it was like, you know, it just seemed like those were very quick fights. But you know, if that is truly it, if that's truly like those fights are completely done, I really truly hope that the anime gives us a lot more. A lot more. Like at least maybe an episode each fight. Because that just seemed way too quick, even by like manga standards. You know, I feel like they could at least got like maybe a chapter each, like manga specifically. And another thing I want to get to, I kind of want to find it. I kind of want to find it in the manga just so. Uh, okay, it's like the beginning of the flashback, right? It's like that first panel in the flashback with of Yamato. Yamato being in prison, right? And the first thing we get, right? They're kind of yelling, like they're yelling at Kaido. They said, like one of the guys said, Kaido, the ogre princess has been running wild for the past week. And to me, I feel as though this could be a confirmation of the indication, like of what Kaido really is, right? Because they say they call her the ogre princess. Now, a lot of people bet back in the day, we was getting theories. Like I remember watching a lot of YouTube theories of what Kaido is, and a lot of people said Kaido is a dragon. Like his race is a dragon, and he has a devil fruit that make him maybe look a little more humanish, you know. But he's naturally a dragon with a devil fruit. But we get the confirmation of what Kaido's devil fruit. He has the fish fruit, which is that form. I'm assuming it's like that dragon form is his fish fruit type, whatever it is. Because I don't think they gave us a type or a model of what it was. So so but his normal form, right? His normal everyday form with the horns, like I've always been of the belief that Kaido was indeed an ogre who ate who would have eaten a dragon devil fruit. Before we got the whole fish model, whatever confirmation, I always thought Kaido came from like the ogre species. Like maybe Oars and Oars Junior, like whatever species they're from. Now I don't know if Kaido is from their species, or maybe he's from their race, but like it's a separate species, or is it the same species, different race? However the animal kingdom works. But maybe he's, how you got like cats, right? You got cats, and then under cats you got lions, uh, house cats, tigers, jaguars. You know, I'm assuming Oars and Kaido might be in the same race but different families. I think that's what you'll call them, different families, something like that. So yeah, I'm really curious to know more of what Kaido, the like kind of the history of his race or whatever. If somehow his race is related to Or's race. So, it could be when they say the ogre princess, it could be just it could be a confirmation that they are ogres, or it could just be saying like, Kaido just calls himself an ogre because he looks like one. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you see somebody who look like an ogre, you'll be like, oh, the ogre. And if they call they call Kaido an ogre, and they call his daughter the ogre princess. Notice how they call her the ogre princess and not the ogre prince, which is weird. Like, if people look at her as Kaido's son, why are they calling her the ogre princess? Which just kind of like clicked in my mind. Like, I didn't even realize that. Like, why is she the ogre princess and not the ogre prince? If Yamato is like, is it maybe Kaido doesn't understand the meaning of a son. Maybe he think maybe Kaido calls any child a son, like boy or girl. He just looks at you as his son, and maybe that's why people call Yamato Kaido's son. Like, I don't know. You know, maybe Kaido look at all kids, all offspring as sons. That's weird. Now I'm curious to know why. I'm really curious to know why Kaido always referred to Yamato as his son. You know, but then some people call her the ogre princess. But yeah, so moving on. Yamato's King Haki. We can't go on kind of breeze through this because not really much to talk about. But it's I find it like impressive that she's able to use King's Haki at such a young age. You know, you know, like have we in the story seen a someone of her age use King's Haki? Like, was Kaido able to use King's Haki at her age? Like, I don't think Luffy was. Like, I don't think we've ever seen Luffy use King's Haki. Um, I mean, be it she probably was like, always fighting. Like Kaido might have always trained her and beat her up, so she probably toughened up at a very young age. Like at this age, she probably been a lot more experienced through some adults. Maybe like I don't know. You know, maybe she's battle hardened enough to where you know she could use King's Hockey. You know, but I want to know what triggered it. You know, what triggered her to be able to use it. You know, is it the situation she's in? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But okay, so then moving forward, the three samurai, right? We had three samurai. They were silhouetted at first, and then we actually get to see them. And we see the one, who established, the one who said, "Just call me so and so," and he kind of looked like Zoro. We see him take his shirt off, and he had the Shimoski clan symbol on his back, right? So, you know, I think it's pretty much confirmed that Shimoski Yoshimaru, like the guy who Hyogoro was talking about in the beginning of, or last chapter, when we seen Zoro fighting King and Queen, right? So I want to know more. I want to learn more about like Shimoski Ushimaru. I hope that maybe we see him and the two samurai go confront Kaido. I'm hoping we get to see. I'm hoping we get more. Him and maybe his clan fleshed out a little more. Like, I'm curious to learn more about this guy. You know, like we got a little tease of him last chapter, and I think we even got a tease of him from during Yasui's execution, when he talked about some of the samurai went to, after Odin died, some of the samurai went to go confront him, right? So I think that was pretty much Shimoski Ushi. It was them, and it was, I don't know if Hio went to, Hio also went. I think Yasue went, yeah, because Yasue said him and some of the other uh, daimyo and everything, or him and a couple other samurai. But yeah, so I'm hoping we really get more on that. And kind of to wrap it up, like one thing Kaido said to me that really stuck out to me, that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. On the last page, when we get the little speech of from Yamato, the one I said kind of made me think that she might be joining the crew, where she said, "There are people who believe in me, people who accept me." Like every time people talk like that, to me that's just showing like you might end up joining the crew. When it's like, oh, I just need people to accept me, because if she stay with Kaido, she's not going to be accepted. So we know she's not staying with Kaido. And I mean, she could watch Momonosuke, be like the protector of Wano. But then she said, "Why do you steal my freedom? Why do you steal Wano's freedom?" And then Kaido says, "Because life isn't a series of simple questions with simple answers." I really love that quote. Let me get a swig of water real quick. I really love that quote, because it's because you can tell, like, like a lot of naive people, they're real, uh what's the word, idealistic. They're they have how things should be, but like Kaido's kind of telling you, like, look, life's not simple. Like, it's not like to tell me why I do what I do. It's like opening a can of worms. I can't tell you. I can't give you one reason, one answer. I can't give you a simple answer to why I do what I do, right? You know, like, and like, think about it. like life isn't a series of simple questions with simple answers. Like you could ask somebody something and it's not so simple as like yes or no. Sometimes it's a lot deeper, or it's so deep of why people make decisions sometimes. Like, or I don't want to say it's so deep, but you know, it's just like when you talk about how somebody got to a point in life, it was so many different decisions that had to be made for them to get there. So when you ask somebody like, "Hey, how did you get to where you are?" It's not something you can give a simple answer because there's so many little things that so many little decisions, minor decisions, big decisions that got them to that point. But another reason why I liked his answer to that, another reason why I like that quote is because it just made me think like what shaped Kaido's ideals, Because I know I said earlier in the stream that Kaido is kind of barbaric, right? But I also believe he's a lot more complex, you know. And it makes me think, what went on in Kaido's history that caused him that shaped this way of thinking, right? And like, did he have a father? Was he abused? Or was Zebek like his father figure? Like, what's his name? Zebek D Rocks or Rocks D Zebek. Was he like Kaido's father figure and he betrayed Kaido, and Kaido's just maybe Kaido was a lot more optimistic, and this betrayal kind of you know reshaped his way of thinking, and he just wasn't so idealistic anymore, and he was more practical and pragmatic about life, and that's why sometimes he's like, what, that's what led to other decisions. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe we'll get an answer maybe we'll get an answer to what shaped Kaido, like when we get his backstory, if we get like a deeper backstory of Kaido, which I'm looking forward to. I kind of like the little flashback we got for Yamato, but I really want one of Kaido and how he became Kaido. And that quote right there just makes me believe that Kaido is so much deeper. Like, I believe Wano has really uh, humanized Kaido. It really made Kaido. It really shown us that Kaido just not some hyped up mindless monster. That he actually, you know, that he's actually more nuanced in certain ways. So yeah, but yeah, so that's pretty much all for the discussion. Remember, if you want if you want one of the two Straw Hat Flags, I will be doing a giveaway for them in the future. But I'm trying to reach milestones here, people. So yeah, let's get this channel to 50 subscribers, and I will have that giveaway. And at the next milestone we reach, which I'm looking might be like 100 subscribers, I'll do another giveaway. I don't know what yet, but I'll do another giveaway. And then and then every time we hit milestones, I'm trying to do giveaways, because I want to give back to people who support what I'm doing here. I'm trying to, I want to do more. Suggest something. Give me a suggestion. Eliz said the moment he mentioned Joy Boy, I knew he was deep. Oh yeah. I mean, I think, I guess when I kind of learned Kaido was deep was maybe with his relationship with Odin. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of his little interactions with Odin that he had. Like, that's when I kind of was like, hey, I don't think Kaido just some barbarian. You know, I think he actually is a lot deeper. He actually thinks things out a lot more than people may give him credit for. You know, he has a lot more honor. He has a lot more honor than people give him credit for. Like, even though he took advantage of Odin not paying attention, he didn't want the battle to end like that. You know, he didn't want. I don't think he wanted. That's why he killed the old lady at the end. You know, he felt like it was a dishonorable win. You know, and another thing that made me think Kaido was a lot deeper is his drinking. You know, his drinking. You know, like he drinks a lot, but a lot of times it's because I think he has regrets. You know, I think he has a lot of trauma and regrets in his life. You know, and I think that's why he drinks. You know, because we see him drinking and crying all the time. So that's kind of my view on it. That's kind of my view on it. But but yeah, man, who knew Kaido was such a philosopher though? Kaido the philosopher. My man said life isn't a series of simple questions with simple answers. I love that quote. You know, because that's kind of how I look at things. You know, I always look at things like not things are never as simple as people like to oversimplify them at times. You know, so yeah, but yeah, so like I was saying, let's get the channel up to 50 subs, man. 50 subs, I'm giving away two of these. 100 subs, we gonna do another giveaway. You know, and we just gonna keep doing that until we just gonna keep doing that every time we hit a milestone. I want to give back to you guys, but yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much a wrap up for me. You know, overall, it was a good chapter. You know, I liked it. You know, it was the fact that we've been getting thrown so many great chapters. You know, I don't want to say it was a bad chapter, but it just we've been hit with so many good chapter after chapter after chapter. You know, this chapter was just kind of a, you know, I don't want to say a low point because it's not a low point. I like the chapter, but it's just it was just kind of a break. But I like chapters that give you that room to breathe a little, because sometimes Oda just be he just be giving body blow after body blow with them fire ass chapters, and sometimes you gotta step back and be like, oh, hold on, Oda. Sometimes you gotta get that little clinch, so you can breathe, or you gotta push them away so you could get that space and breathe, and that's kind of what this chapter was. It was just like a breather, you know. We got a chapter next week. I'll see y'all for that chapter. We'll be back here for that chapter. You know. And hey, if I could if we get the 50 subscribers by this Sunday, I'm giving away one of those. Or I'm not gonna give away those, but I'm gonna definitely start the contest to give one of those away. You know, or both of them. I don't know yet. But anyway, it's your boy Sean P. Bluff God. Sorry for the first 15 minutes, guys. I know I didn't have my mic wasn't set up right. I didn't realize it until 15 minutes in. But yeah. Anyway, y'all have a good Sunday. I'm out. Peace.